Sam Ard's first foray into NASCAR competition would come in the late model sportsman division, the predecessor tour to the Busch Grand National Series. Competing among these ranks from 1973 to 1981, he would earn 9 victories. The series was consolidated and updated into its modern format for record-keeping purposes in 1982, first known as the Budweiser Late Model Sportsman Series and later as the Busch Grand National Series starting in 1984. Ard would compete in the debut season of the new tour, driving for Howard Thomas. Success would come quickly, taking the victory in the Dogwood 500 from Martinsville Speedway in just the 4th start for the new team. With follow-up victories in the Series 2 events at South Boston Speedway and the return trip to Martinsville in the fall, Ard would come home runner-up in points to Jack Ingram, finishing the season with 4 wins, 20 top 5, and 23 top 10 finishes in 29 starts. In 1983, he would come out of the gate strong, taking 3 of the season's first 6 events, claiming victories at Richmond, Martinsville, and North Wilkesboro, returning to victory lane for the 4th time in July at Hickory Motor Speedway.
Back down to Dick Berggren in the pit area. Dick?
Well, one of the cars that we're going to be watching in this race is Sam Ard, the white 00 automobile. He's got a different engine in his car than every other car in the field. Specifically, the engine is smaller. The rules allow him, because he has a smaller engine, to run a lighter car. In addition, he's going to get better gas mileage as a result of running the smaller engine, and he should be able to get a little bit further between pit stops. So we're going to keep our eye on Ard.
They had 29 races last year, as now we see Sam Ard moving up there.
Earnhardt is the leader. Now Sam Ard has moved into 2nd position. In 3rd place is Jeff Bodine in car number 89, and 4th place belongs to Neil Bonnet. Dale Earnhardt is the leader, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th positions have changed in the last lap. Sam Ard, who finished 2nd in the point standings last year behind Jack Ingram, is running 2nd now.
He would kick off a dominating run beginning with a victory at Bristol in August, where he would not finish outside of the top 5 for the remainder of the season, including his phenomenal run at the end of the year, taking home the checkers in 4 of the last 5 events.
And coming like gangbusters, making it 3 wide down the back chute is Morgan Shepherd. 3 wide it is, and here comes Sam Ard to try to decide that national championship. He wants to finish ahead of Jack Ingram. Neil Bonnet, Dale Earnhardt, Sam Ard could be a big surprise. Remember, he's not a Grand National Winston Cup competitor. He's all late model. It is Earnhardt up into 2nd spot. Allison is on the drive. Ard is pulling up as they go to turn 3. Ard will take over the number 3 spot. Bonnet gets drop kicked back into 4th. Bobby Allison goes alongside Neil Bonnet. Look at Sam Ard. He is driving really tremendous strong-arming that automobile back into the strike. Morgan Shepherd is not pulling away from Dale Earnhardt now, and Sammy Ard is up into 3rd spot. Sammy Ard on the drive, the first of the Sportsman regulars into 3rd spot. 140 laps complete, 60 to go. Morgan Shepherd in that 2nd place duel now with Sam Ard, charging strong by Dale Earnhardt at the top of the third turn, and it looks like Sam Ard coming into the 4th turn to take that number 2 slot behind Morgan Shepherd. Sam Ard being waved on by the crowd here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in position number 2. Dale Earnhardt in 3rd, Bobby Allison in that 4th slot. What a drive for Sam Ard today out of Asheboro, North Carolina, the contender for the points lead in the sportsman standings this year here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, doing a supremely good effort.
Sammy Ard is running a whale of a race right now, and I think if Morgan says, well, look here, I got my hands full with a regular sportsman man, I'm really amazed that, Morgan, I'm sure, is trying to stretch it back out, but the further he gets away, the further Sammy goes with him.
And if Sam Ard could pull this off, it would be worth, with the bonuses, some $30,000. Now, that would be the richest day a sportsman driver has ever had, though.
Well, and really and truthfully, Sam has run some awfully good races on super speedways, and he's very capable of winning this race here, and right now his car does look extremely good, and so we'll just have to keep everybody abreast of what's going on.
19 laps to go on the leader, Sammy Ard, and it is 7 2/10 seconds back to the 2nd place battle, which is Earnhardt, and right there with him is Ron Bouchard. Out of turn number 2, Bouchard just settles down right there to ride on Earnhardt's bumper. Sammy Ard just riding the center groove very smoothly off turn number 4. What a turnaround for Sammy Ard. In the 1973 inaugural race, Ard crashed in the very first lap, letting Jack Ingram coast home in the battle for the championship. That wreck cost Sammy Ard his ride to the Thomas brothers. He was not rehired in 1974.
However, mid-season, 1975, Ard was put back in the saddle of the 00, and he's been there ever since, and this could be his greatest day.
Meanwhile, your leader, Sammy Ard, going very carefully toward 3, but here comes that battle for second spot off of 2, midway down the back straightaway. Sammy Ard's in heavy lap traffic. Earnhardt knows there's a lot of money riding between second and third. Earnhardt goes down to the inside. Bouchard is upstairs. Earnhardt will get second. It looks like Bouchard comes back.
The winner is Sammy Ard. Margin of victory, 8 3/10 of a second. Sammy Ard has done it. Sammy Ard, a sportsman driver, has beaten the superstars of American racing at their own game, Superspeedway racing.
Ard would become the second champion in the history of the series, finishing the season with 10 wins, 23 top 5, and 30 top 10 finishes in 35 starts. Picking up right where he left off, Ard would kick off the 1984 season in a fury, winning 6 of the first 13 races and not finishing outside of the top 10 until the 24th event of the season.
Sam Ard, last year you had this late model sportsman division staying on here. Today you qualified 3rd. How are you going to get around that front car?
The best way I can, Benny. You know how it is here. Sometimes we have to push and shove a little bit.
Sam Ard says we're going to see some pushing and shoving today, folks.
Tommy Ellis brings the field down and breaks as he takes the green flag to a 1-car length advantage as Sammy Ard squirts down the inside, last year's winner, and goes into second place, the 00 car. The green flag is out, and we're racing once again at Richmond, and Sammy Ard dives to the inside. He and Ellis touch. Ard is your new leader. Ellis getting pushed to the outside, and it is Sammy Ard, last year's winner, going for 2 in a row. The leader is Sammy Ard in the 00. National champion a year ago, winner of this Wrangler 150 1 year back. There you see him in a car that's brand new. It's never been raced before. Built it all himself. The suspension, the motor, it all comes out of the imagination of Sammy Ard, homegrown right in his backyard. And earlier we talked to Sammy Ard. What's the problem with the first race of the season?
First race of the season is always tough. You know, everybody's trying to sort the cars out and get them to work and everything. And the cars ain't been on the racetrack, and a lot of them don't get them sorted out exactly right. And it makes for a bunch of ill-handling automobiles. And the biggest problem here is you got to stay out of trouble all day long.
Getting down toward the finish. And Sammy Ard in this 00 car. 311 cubic inch power plant, weighs 2,950 pounds, stays out in front. That 00 on the NASCAR circuit last year won $192,000. And of course he won his first Superspeedway race last year when he won at Charlotte, North Carolina in a late model sportsman event. Lapping cars at will, and he seems to have made all the right decisions on this car to keep it up in front. Ard stays up in front. His Pontiac now leading by a straightaway over Jack Ingram in second place. And now it's Sammy Ard's race to win, but he's got to keep it all gathered up. He is so smooth, so consistent, one would wonder why he hasn't moved on into the Grand National ranks, that somebody wouldn't want a driver of his quality and capability.
Well, Ken, there's kind of a joke going. He don't want to take a cut in salary. He's winning all the races he runs in now. And, you know, he won at Charlotte last year on the major speedways and beat quite a few of the Grand National drivers. He's a very talented race driver.
Nearly $200,000 in winning and a very stout sponsorship to pay for the car. It's not a bad way to spend the summer. As they go into the final lap, it is Sammy Ard down in front. We'll take a look at replay right after the event is over.
Bosco.
In that second spot is the 32. This is it. The finish at Bosco Loam, the 27 out back, has been able to move up through. He's getting under Wayne Patterson. Here they come, driving for the finish. Patterson comes up on the outside. The winner is Ard.
Sam, jump on out of here and let's talk about this thing. It looked fairly easy, was it?
It wasn't none too easy. Tommy and Jack just got to racing together and let me get away from them, and I had smooth sailing from there on. I kept the old car hooked up pretty good all day long.
It looked like the car was hooked up excellent. You said at the beginning you thought maybe you just got to do some pushing and shoving. You didn't have to do any, did you?
No, I never got into nobody. Tommy gave me plenty of room whenever I got there. He gave me room to go, so I went on by. Everything just went smooth. You couldn't ask for nothing to go no better. As long as Thomas Brothers feed this thing some country ham, we're going to keep on trucking.
After winning at South Boston in late June and North Wilkesboro in September, he would extend his points lead to over 500. Misfortune would strike on the 14th lap of the season's penultimate race at Rockingham when a nearly fatal accident would end his driving career. Though he would not be able to finish out the season, his points lead was insurmountable and he would claim his second consecutive Grand National title, a feat that has been matched but not yet beaten as of the recording of this video. Ard would ultimately finish the 1984 season with an incredible 8 wins, 24 top 5, and 26 top 10 finishes in just 28 starts. Following the end of his driving career, he would make a return to the Busch Grand National Series as a car owner. Fielding cars for 6 years, between 1987 and 1992, the team would earn 2 top 10 points finishes with Jimmy Hensley behind the wheel and earn a total of 3 wins, including Jeff Burton's first in the series.
Sam Ard, car owner and crew chief, and that young man, Jeff Burton, and he is excited. Is he happier while he's waving that crew?
One of the early standouts of the Busch Grand National Series, Sam Ard left a huge mark on the record books in his brief career. Winning 22 races and 2 championships and fewer than 100 starts are stats that to this day hold up alongside the best of the best.